Hello, and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some big news coming out from this war between Ukraine and Russia. We've got reports that late last night, looks like the Ukrainians launched a massive drone attack. I'm talking very massive, probably one of the biggest drone attacks they've ever launched against Russia. And they targeted the Krasnodar region, Crimea, the Black Sea Fleet. They targeted so many different areas here inside of Russia and also Crimea, which was annexed by Russia. Very massive attack here. We heard that there was air defense units that were attacked inside of Crimea. Not sure if they were destroyed, but we may have some that were hit. We've got multiple oil depots, at least 4 or 5 oil refineries that were struck as well. This video footage that you're seeing here is also an airfield, a military airfield in the Krasnodar region called the Yeysk Airfield. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it supposedly got struck too, and I believe that's the video footage on the screen there for you as well. So multiple regions coming under attack here. We also had some reports as well that a Russian helicopter, an armored helicopter, was actually shot down by the Russians. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. They shot down their own helicopter by accident with air defenses. So definitely lots of crazy mayhem going on here in Russia just last night. And let's go ahead and talk about this some more. I've got video footage here for you. But first, we're going to go over an article that just has a ton of information of things going on. You're going to be mind-boggled here and mind-blown by the amount of information of how much damage was done here by this Ukrainian drone swarm. So this is on Kiev Post. Ukrainian drone swarm swamp Russian air defenses, oil refineries, and airfield hit. A month of Ukrainian precision strikes against Russian air defenses, particularly in Crimea, has opened the door for waves of kamikaze drones to do their stuff. So something big about this region right now, especially Crimea, we just reported that the Russians were pulling all their air defenses, at least a good majority of them, away from Crimea, okay? They're leaving Crimea exposed right now. And especially the Krasnodar region down here just gets hammered almost every week. And many of these drones that don't get shot down, they end up hitting their targets, striking oil depots. I've talked a lot about that recently. We even, just a few weeks ago, heard of a massive attack in Krasnodar as well, near one of their ports. I forget which port name it was, but it came under attack by Neptune missiles, which are produced by the Ukrainians. So the Ukrainians are just smashing Russia all across the board here with massive drone and missile attacks all over their country, but primarily in the Krasnodar region. So let's read about this. In its most ambitious massed drone raid in months, swarms of Ukrainian kamikaze UAVs struck Russian-controlled territory overnight. The heaviest blows targeted military bases and energy infrastructure in Russia's southwestern Krasnodar Krai region, as dozens more Ukraine drones hit air defenses in Crimea or penetrated hundreds of kilometers into mainland Russia. Russian air and sea defenses were unable to completely bring down the waves of incoming unmanned aircraft, with both official and social media reporting heavy fires, damage, and casualties at multiple locations. I'll have a few different videos to show you and some extra information we'll go over on X in just a moment once we complete this article. Overall, on the night, June 20th to the 21st, 70 Ukrainian drones attacked targets on the Crimean Peninsula, while another 43 attacked targets in Russia's southwestern Krasnodar Krai region, with at least 2 drones flying, hitting a Volgograd oil refinery hundreds of kilometers in the east. As usual, Russian officials said all of the aerial targets were shot down. Mikhail Razvazev, governor of Russian-occupied Crimea, publicly stated in the early morning hours of Friday that there was no substantial damage, as particularly all Ukrainian weapons were destroyed before hitting their targets. They always say this, but I've got lots of video footage to show otherwise. Lots of fires going on. And these are all eyewitness reports from just, general civilians living in cities that see these fires in the distance, hear the explosions. We'll even have one video that shows an explosion from a drone attacking a city really close to somebody in like a high-rise building, I believe they're in, some sort of building. Razvazev said a massive attack carried out by the criminal Kiev regime hit a heating plant near a bus station outside the city of Krasnodar and an administrative building in an oil refinery nearby. Russian Defense Command statement issued hours later said 4 people were injured in the Krasnodar attack and that debris from falling Ukrainian drone ignited a grass fire on the premises of the Ilsk oil refinery, which was quickly put out. We did hear as well, unfortunately, very bad news is I think, as far as I know, one person may have died in this attack as well. Again, this was a very, very big drone attack. And like I said, maybe one person may have been killed here from what we were hearing. Another official claimed that 6 Ukrainian unmanned surface vessels, sea drones, had been destroyed by local air forces as they approached Russia's western Black Sea coast. So we even had surface drones. These drones are like little boats that glide across the water, and they use these as well. The Ukrainians use these to destroy multiple Russian Black Sea Fleet vessels as well. We've heard lots of reports about those also. So Russian social media, Ukrainian mill bloggers, and Kiev official sources widely contradicted the official Russian narrative that Ukrainian strikes were ineffective. According to a late Friday morning statement by Ukraine's armed forces, kamikaze drones had struck 5 oil refineries in southwest Russia, as well as air defense early warning systems in Russia's central Bryansk region and Crimea. So look at that, even the Bryansk region come under attack, just all over the place, okay? Crimea, it said that the attacks were generally successful, but overall extent of the damage was not yet clear, but confirmed that there had been 5 effective hits on the Enemsky oil refinery in Russia's southwestern Adygea region. So look at that, even another oil refinery here. Okay, so like I said, at least 4 or 5 for sure were hit. Although the Russians are coming out and stating that everything was shot down. A military facility in western Russia that had been used for more than a year to store Iranian Shahed drones, which attacked Ukrainian homes and businesses, was hit and damaged, and as was a facility used by Iranian instructors to train Russian operators, the statement said. So look at that, just so much infrastructure getting hit here, even a storage building that was used to hold these drones that Russia uses to attack Ukraine with. Official Russian sources confirmed that 3 of the oil refineries named as having been targeted by Ukrainian military were attacked. According to Western news reports, Ukraine's drone campaign to degrade Russian fuel has led to disruption of production by at least 15% of Russian capacity by early April. Isn't that crazy? 15%, they may not sound like a lot, but in terms of rubles and how much output that is for their economy, that could be a huge amount of money. I mean, really think about that, considering that Russia's economy is primarily run off of oil. Local news platforms and social media in Crimea reported furious shooting by local air defenses at Ukrainian drones flying west to east in waves on Friday. Firing from anti-aircraft cannon and missiles were reported in the vicinity of major Russian air defense facilities in Cape, I don't know if I'm going to say any of these right, Tarkankut, Evpatoria, Saki Airfield, and the port of Sevastopol. So I think these might be down in Crimea. Russian mill bloggers on Friday morning reported that a Russian Ka-29 search and rescue helicopter flying to close to where Ukrainian drones were seen was shot down near the Crimean resort village of Anapa, killing all on board. So they were all the men that were on board of this helicopter. They got shot down. They all were killed. Unconfirmed sources said 4 crew died following an accidental launch and impact of a Panzer anti-aircraft missile. According to some accounts, almost 150 Ukrainian drones were launched overnight on June 20th to 21st, many from Ukraine's western Kherson and Odessa regions, flying almost the entire length of the Black Sea before hitting targets in Crimea and West Russia. In Krasnodar region, multiple aircraft struck and damaged Yeysk military airfield and AFIP oil refinery, the Ilniski oil refinery, and the Yablonsky oil refinery, local reports said. So I know there's just so much reading here, but look at the amount of infrastructure that's just getting hit here. This has to be by far the largest attack I have ever seen Ukraine commit to. And this is just absolutely destroying so much infrastructure from Ukraine, considering these reports here. Or excuse me, of Russia, not Ukraine. At least 2 long-range drones struck a Lukoil refinery in the Volgograd region, some 350 kilometers east of Ukraine's border and close to 600 kilometers away from likely Ukrainian launch sites, some accounts said. Kiev Post review of available evidence, including geolocated video, satellite images, local social media comment, And Ukrainian official statements contradicted by claims by Russian officials that minimal damage had been caused. There is evidence that at Yeysk airfield, Ukrainian drones struck a headquarters building and possible power grid infrastructure setting fires. Images of blazes with characteristic heavy flames and billowing black smoke pointed to additional effective drones hit at the AFIP, Ilniski, and Yablonsky oil refineries. If confirmed, the Ukrainian overnight June to 20 to the 21st attacks would mark Kiev's single most successful massed kamikaze drone raid of the war, and along with it, an almost unprecedented failure of Russia's once fearsome air defense network in the Black Sea region. Wow, that was a lot of reading, but just tons of information, guys. Absolutely crazy. Whether or not, this was a very effective attack where they did damage a lot of critical infrastructure. Definitely, like I said, one of the biggest attacks I've ever seen Ukraine launch onto Russia, targeting multiple regions. Krasnodar, we heard the Bryansk region coming under attack, Crimea coming under attack. So we had air defenses targeted, the Black Sea Fleet, or at least the Black Sea coast coming under attack by naval drones, oil refineries, up to 5 oil refineries being hit, potentially destroyed, air bases. I mean, just all kinds of infrastructure here from Russia, especially in the Krasnodar region, which I've reported on so many times. It's almost every week now that Ukraine is targeting the Krasnodar region. Finally, I want to show you a few things here on X. So from Vicegrad24, breaking: Russia shot down their own Ka-29 helicopter in Anapa in the Krasnodar region during the large Ukrainian drone swarm attack against the region this morning. 4 Russian soldiers were killed. So I pulled this up so you can kind of get a close snapshot of what kind of helicopter was shot down. This is the type of helicopter, a Ka-29 helicopter. It's an armored attack helicopter, okay, that was shot down. So very crazy that the Russians ended up shooting down their own helicopter by mistake. Maybe the helicopter was flying in the region at the time that all these drones were coming in, and the air defense system probably picked up the helicopter by accident and fired on it, considering that the drones were attacking around the same time. So next up here from Jay in Kiev, insatiable Ukrainian drones went on a feeding frenzy in the Krasnodar region of Russia this morning, targeting oil refineries at an airbase. So again, these are kind of hard to say. Temeryuksky, Yeysk, and Seversky. Okay, we've got 4 videos here we're going to be checking out together. Most of them are very short, but we'll just go ahead and see some of the extent of the damage here. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. Okay, so not much sound in this video here, but as we can see, I believe this is the Yeysk airfield on fire. Something definitely on fire over here. Lots of, thick plumes of smoke. There's some fire breaking out right there too. That was probably from another strike right there in the distance. So somebody was able to capture this and record this in real time and show this to us, that something is clearly on fire over here. Next up, I've got another video here we're going to take a look at, so let's see.
Вон Кумар идет. Ебать его рот. Ля.
So this may have been like an oil refinery or something. We can clearly see something in the distance getting struck multiple times here, maybe 2 or 3 times, and it caught on fire. Let's go ahead and take a look at this again. We can see it in the distance. There it is. Boom, right there. Something getting hit. Probably an oil refinery, most likely, because like we said, we had reports of at least 5 that came under attack. So let's see what else we got here. Let's take a look at another video. Okay, so what we're seeing here is right there in the very beginning. You can see some strike off in the distance over there. So definitely all these drones were not shot down. There were things getting struck here, okay? You can see from this town. Right there, boom. Something got hit. Very crazy, guys. Okay, one more video here to check out. Let's take a look. This one's going to be a short one, and I apologize, it may be a little loud, okay? So let's take a look at this one.
Ой-ой-ой!
So this is that video footage I was showing you or talking to you about earlier, that somebody was in like a high-rise building or on top of a building somewhere. They probably heard the drones coming in, and something gets struck over here. It looks like some sort of building maybe or something. It's really hard to tell. There's a building over here, and something got hit by a drone, and it completely scared this woman, and she ducked for cover. So very scary. I can't imagine being here, throughout this attack whenever this happens. So let's go ahead and take a look at one more thing here. This is the same video we were just looking at, but I want to show you the information here from Nexta, who has usually very reliable sources of information whenever they put their posts out. One of the most massive drone attacks on Russian territory took place at night. More than 100 drones attacked oil and gas infrastructure in Crimea, Krasnodar, Adige, and Volgograd Oblast. The consequences are being specified. So see, we're still kind of trying to find out how much damage exactly was caused here. We do have some video footage, as we just showed you, that there was some attacks, but we aren't able to completely verify what the extent of the damages were, and obviously the Russians will not most likely give out that information. They'll continue to say that most, if not all, these drones were shot down, but a few targets may have been hit. But I'm sure in the background, I'm sure some of these oil facilities got hit. We've got video footage confirming some direct hits on something, definitely showing some fires. That the Yeisk airfield as well coming under attack, which, like I said, it just came under attack back in April. So lots of big news coming out from this report that I wanted to share with you. So just very big news, guys. Like I said, lots of infrastructure coming under attack. Crimea getting hit, Krasnodar, oil refineries, Black Sea coming under attack by naval drones, a helicopter getting shot down. Definitely mass chaos in Russia. This is in southwestern Russia, actually, just late last night. So let me know what you think about all this news. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Excuse me. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you with that. I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for putting up with my voice. I apologize. I'm still a little sick right now. But thanks, guys. Everybody take care. We'll see you in the next one.